This is Rosie McCarthy. As it's down on the turf. Long chase for it. It's taken by Molly Byrne, who start off the scoring against Lehigh in their last game. 40 seconds still on the shot clock. Here comes Reagan Ziegler. Expect her to make some noise off the bench. Appeared in 5 off of it. Didn't play in that Lehigh game, but back to sorts here. Ziegler again, now to 20. Hoya's taken a lot of time off this clock. Here's the look for Lowshirt, and she starts the scoring for the Hoyas. Sophia Lowshirt, the young freshman, breaking things open. And we take a quick breather here in Baltimore. Sophia Lowshirt, who's doing some exciting things in her first season, gets the first tally. Coming off of a game against Lehigh, a team who will certainly be competing for that Patriot League crown. Of course, Georgetown do have a little bit of a touch in the Patriot League as their football team plays in the conference, so a little bit of a taste of both worlds, Patriot League and Big East. And Big East that is also very tough to compete in, certainly with the likes of Denver and UConn, just to name a few. Here's a quick look into the center, and a goal for Chase Boyle. As Loyola were desperate to get on the board, Chase Boyle usually answers that call. 1-1, just out of the timeout. Here's another look at this Boyle look. Able to get a little bit of space there inside the center. Pops it in front of Trinity Kochi. And I think Princeton also showing how good the Ivy League is again this year. The Ivy League certainly showed it last year. Saw how good Penn and Yale were, and Princeton, but just adding another notch to their tally. But Loyola did a good job bouncing back against Towson and trying to pick one up here against Georgetown. Ava Kane starting it up at the 12. Swung around 30 seconds. A lot of patience here, looking for Boyle, who turns around and scores. Even in traffic, she figures it out. It's both of her goals to give Loyola the 2-1 lead. Surrounded by 2 and arguably even a third, but, you know, the turn that she had there, you see she kind of used her body a little bit just to get the spacing. It was enough, certainly from that range, a range where she finishes goal, and perhaps one that has fallen by the wayside and allows the Hoyas to go end to end. It was transition play a few games ago against Johns Hopkins that was awfully difficult for them to start the game, but they made the adjustments. And clearing in transition game is something that Coach Phipps really likes to see some success in. And she knows that today's got to be one of those days. Hoyas keeping the fight in early so far. Here comes the shot. Gracie Driggs tickles the twine, ties it up at 2. Gracie Driggs is the energy of this team. Look at this goal again by Riley Meyer as the Hoyas are back on offense here. Meyer, the senior out of Summit, New Jersey, is coming off game against Lehigh where she had 4 shots. Didn't score, but also career high 7 draw controls. Just another piece to this draw unit. From behind the cage, it starts up. This is Gebhardt. Found into the center, and a turnaround goal. Lauren Steer gives the lead to the Hoyas. The sophomore from just up the road in Lutherville now adds a goal here after having one goal in the Lehigh game. Take another glance at this. A lot of space in the middle for her first to grab it, but then as the traffic forms of this Hoyas side. So this does allow Loyola to have this player advantage. And it's an area where they've been able to exploit many opposition so far this year. Trailing 3-2. Around the crease. Stapleton towards the center. Ava Kane scoops it up. Watch her fly. Pushes it in for the goal. Tied up at 3 as these two teams are going back and forth here. Junior out of Glen Mills, PA. Look at the pass. It went all the way through, intended for Facalaris, but look at Kane. 3 players. Well, a pump fake by Ziegler back out top. They'll rotate things here. Georgetown, 40 seconds. Lofted here, low shirts. Runs into some traffic. Here's the whistle. And now we'll get a free position. It's her first attempt of her young career. Is looking for a brace. Low shirt, in front, off the woodwork. And in. Goal for the Hoyas and low shirt to make it 4-3. You're seeing the pace she has. You're seeing how she exploits space. Here's a look at this again. This is how she found her way in. Four 3 for Georgetown. I guess that wasn't quite off the woodwork, but very close. That is where she looked to aim. 6 shots to 3. And it's looking awfully difficult to slow down the Hoyas today. Oh, these draws are just so entertaining, aren't they? And now Rosie McCarthy's got to say, Coach Phipps adding different players to that circle just to make things a little difficult. And how about that goal? Georgetown with a 2-goal lead. Addie McGovern pouncing on the opportunity. That is 5 early goals for the Hoyas. McGovern, just the sophomore, who's had a great start to this year. Now her 8th goal of the season. Really didn't waste any time off of the... Still 14 seconds left in this extra player. See what Starr decides to do here. Kicks it out for Driggs. Steer. Still 40 seconds on the shot clock, but into the middle. No good as it pinballs away. Loyola are now back to full strength. Sprinting in is Emily Scorsia. 25 seconds to shoot. On target and a goal for Maylee Starr, who was never afraid to go at it. 6-3 for Georgetown. And you see this Loyola defense convening here to try and get some things put together. There's another look. Starr making it 6-3, and we'll take a break. 9:16 remaining. Hoyas controlling things early. Now been 15 minutes since Loyola have scored, which is not heard of often. Right after the whistle, Boyle starts it up very quickly and gets her hat trick. That whistle did just enough to take the Hoyas' attention away for half a second. And that's all Chase Boyle needs. Loyola within 2 now. And Chase Boyle with 3. Whenever you see her do things like this, you always can't help but remember just what she's been able to do in her previous season. Certainly last year, record goals of 85. Of course, the draw controls at 208. It's a great look at that one as she went top left on it. For her career, Chase Boyle now with her 4th hat trick of the season, 28th of her career. Card coming out. Now the new player out there for Georgetown was Danica Blix, so in her first couple seconds, she gets the card. I saw her warming up there on the sideline before she came on. Blix is actually an excellent asset to have off the draw. She is about as quick as anybody you'll ever see. And she goes in there, works hard. Sophomore out of San Rafael, California. Almost 3 minutes left in the second. There's a quick one in front of the crease. Loyola strike for a quick couple. And they are within 1. Gabby Stapleton this time round gets her goal. Stapleton, who has just 1 goal in 3 straight, now makes it 4 straight. See just one simple move. It's a juke move. She worked back to her right side, and Georgia Latch isn't going to miss that too often. Look at the attention she draws. School of the game after that great 5-goal game against Towson. Again, it was something that Coach Adams had mentioned after the Boston College game, how, Fac Loris, in that game that didn't go Loyola's way, she felt that she needed to do more. And she really holds herself to a high standard, so a 5-goal game like she had against Towson certainly unveils what she's able to bring. Here's a look at Boyle. She found it above everybody, and she pocketed past Wareheim. That is why she is one of the best, and it was put in a spot that only she could get to it and didn't waste much time. So there's another look right in between some wickets and had a turn and shoot from an awkward angle. Look at it again. That's not an easy one to pull the trigger on. Exactly that, and you're seeing still time and time again, even when things get a little tough this year, Chase Boyle and Georgia Latch are always there to lend a helping hand. And you see this is an offense that's adjusting to life without Sydney Black, who was that attention drawer. Here's a quick spin in, and Loyola have the lead right at the start of this second half. Emma Talago having to say, great response out of the break. Talago now putting in her 4th goal of the season. Coming off of a brace against Towson. She went high on that one. Phipps actually was roommates with Dana Doby there for a year at Maryland. When Coach Doby was a junior working her way out, Coach Phipps was just a young freshman. And actually, believe it or not, Coach Phipps mentioning that, since Dana Doby's Canadian, it's kind of hard for her to go back to family during break. So Easter break and a few others, Dana Doby would be hosted by Coach Phipps's family. Obviously, a really tight relationship there between the two. Less than 8 minutes to go. Quickly in front. Loyola lead by 2. Elisa Faclaris, the most recent recipient. And Loyola have struck for 3 at the start of this second half. And we'll take a break here. Loyola are heating up. Georgia Latch, better give her another assist there. 2-goal lead for Loyola. Response, but they're going to have to do so starting on the defensive end. A little more light here in Ridley. Whistle with 7:26 to go. And they will point Chase Boyle. Right side of the 8. Dangerous spot as always for her. Believe it or not, just 1 of 2 this year for free position. Boyle looking and where she wants to take this and wraps it home. You can make it 5 for number 5. Three-goal lead now for Loyola. This one just fairly simple at the end. Look at how long Chase Boyle was looking elsewhere. That was the first few steps that she took in. Just wanting to get the angle. The transfer from Dartmouth. So it just adds on a little bit of hurt now into this second half as this means Loyola get the extra player for a minute. Georgia Lash patiently waits on. This knows when to take that pressure off others. So not only has Chase Boyle struck for 5 goals on 6 shots, mind you. And there's another look. Hang on. She's got 6 goals on the game. Receives another excellent feed. Lead is now 4 for Loyola. Another quick look at that one. And she received it from Georgia Latch, who I was just about to mention is now up to 6 assists in this game. The players down there know where that camera is. He has really become one of the greats to ever don those jerseys. I think another fun fact to note about that most recent goal for Loyola, Georgia Latch, who has 6 assists in this game. She's now put together her 300th career point. This one is turned in on the far side by McGovern. And Georgetown needed one here in this third quarter, and they get one thanks to their sophomore. Puts it back within 3. You see McGovern, is how hard she had to work to find that one. But a smile on her face, knowing that that can maybe jumpstart this offense. Here's a look at this again. And look at just the quick pump fake. It's the first time that the Hoyas have beaten Lauren Spence here in the second half. 58 seconds. Sometimes it's just as simple as getting the timing right, too. And you see now the clock drops to 1:51. It looks to be perhaps just as simple as that. But again, you're seeing a lot of these officials always want to make sure you get it right. That is what's first and foremost. So they do get this one here. And it's tossed into Latch, who now has her first goal of the game to go along with her 6 assists. 11-7 for the Greyhounds. Kane tossing it in. Good finish in the end. It's a big smile on number 22's face. But Kane showing that she's got a few different avenues. And let's see how far she wants to take this here. Greeted by the number counterpart in Kane, and she spins right past her. It's Michaela Kitchen in a nutshell. Really good in that clearing game. Very quick, too. Now, the reason for some success in that first half for Georgetown was they kept it out of Loyola's hands, but the Greyhounds have since been able to hang on to it a little bit more. 20 seconds left. There's the shot and goal for Loyola. This is another game for her that she's had her say. That's a real quick step to her right side. Loyola has a hat trick. Now, how do you respond by coming off of your first career hat trick? Well, wind really blowing here too. Here at Ridley. That's been a common theme for these last few weeks. These players really dealing with it well. Certainly you got some soggy jerseys from the rain, but that wind maybe cooling things down a little bit, certainly for these players who have been working awfully hard. Here's a quick turn, and the goal for Hannah Bishop. Because of how well Loyola had been playing her, has been kept silent, but she needed that one. And cuts it to now 2. There's a look at Bishop. That's what she brings to the table. She's got so much strength there in the way that she works. Goes up against a really difficult Ellie Rudd a little bit more. You can't forget about what she was able to do against William and Mary. 4 goals and 6 assists there against the Tribe. 60 seconds left to shoot for Loyola. There's a turn for Latch. Tossed into the center. Suarez Jury just a little too high, perhaps altered the shot. Was Kochi, junior from Westfield, New Jersey, knowing that this is a great opportunity this season for her to step in as a defender. Faclaris punching it through. 12-9 for Loyola. Now they're controlling the draws, 14-11. Just a slow growth to that spot. Latch has 5. Osborne has 5. Boyle has 3. Into the middle again. It's Talago scoring from the lower angle. And makes it 13-9. Another glimpse into what she brings to the table. Just a bang-bang play for her. Loyola back to a 4-goal lead. And a timeout called by Georgetown. As they sense what could be happening, they need to put a stop to it. We'll take a break. Talago putting it through. It was 5 assists against Johns Hopkins. And her career high coming into this game was 6, which she had last season at Holy Cross. She has not only broken that career high, she has shattered it. And there's still about 10 minutes to go for her to add on a little bit more. It shows that it doesn't necessarily have to be just the goals. You have to distribute them too. McGovern, wow, what a goal that is! And looks to pump up her team. She is special. Here's a glance at this one. Right in on Ellie Weichert, who was guarding her so tightly. It's a great find. Georgetown have competed awfully well. But Coach Phipps just searching for a couple more wins in that win column, proving that this is not a team to take lightly at all. It never has been, and it perhaps never will be. They had the halftime lead here today, but Loyola taking advantage of their looks on offense. In fact, Loris is having another tremendous game for the Greyhounds. She is now up to 3. And a big smile for her as she is growing more and more into this season. See that backdoor cut for her. That's a really good angle. You better believe Georgia Latch gets another assist. So that's, again,